Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. What a delight to have you here. Friends, how are you doing?
All
Good. Awesome.
Doing fine. All excited for
All
the
good,
World
all
Cup.
good.
Starting from
Crazy.
tonight.
couldn't be better.
That's fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Somewhere in Mexico City right now, the groundskeeper at the Estadio Azteca is mowing that same patch of grass that is going to kick off the greatest tournament in the world. In a hotel in Florida, Lionel Messi is staring at the ceiling, wondering if he's really got one more in him. And here, several thousand kilometers away from the Estadio Azteca, five men, who were never at any point in danger of being selected for the World Cup squad, have started a podcast about it. Welcome to Bench Warmers FC. We are the substitutes who never got subbed on. The squad
And we
players,
never get subbed on.
they never will. We've been warming this bench our whole lives, and now, finally, the gaffer has pointed to us. Here we go. 48 teams, 3 host nations.
Over 100 matches.
104 matches. 104. A format that is 1.5 months. A format that's so complicated needs a flow chart and science to explain how third place teams can qualify.
I know, right?
And we will be watching every single minute of it at an ungodly Indian hour so that you don't have to.
I mean, I think FIFA should pay us just for our dedication.
Isn't that the truth? FIFA will be dropping our Venmos and our Google Pays in the bios. Speaking
Is
of,
it possible to watch all matches by one single
It is
individual?
not. It is not.
Chiku, let's be quick.
ridiculous.
If there's any of us that are gonna have 4 screens going on at the same time,
Yeah.
it will be you. Friends, I am joined by my wonderful fellow substitutes. With me is Dr. Shaq, who is on duty right now. And joining us, there's some screaming child that desperately needs him, and instead he's here.
Oh, wait, I think that came out wrong. Maybe you should mention why the kid's screaming.
Oh, that's true. Dr. Shaq is a pediatrician. Speaking of Foulmouth FC himself, VR14 Vishnu is joining us. Hey,
Yeah.
Vishnu.
Hey, I'm dressed for the whole thing, getting my Bayern jeans on, and you can see it's Mia San Mia.
Mia San Mia.
This
Oh,
very
it's
Lost in the
dedicated.
semifinals.
Always.
But it's fine.
It's coming home, boys. It's coming home, but to the fatherland.
Yeah, depends on which home.
Yep.
And boy genius, boy wonder, Chiku, what's going on?
All good, boys. Excited for the World Cup. I'm on blue repping India. They're not playing.
Where
Are they
Naples is
playing? Are we
Sunday.
playing?
Don't think we have a working football. Everything's deflated. But 100 years, we might
Everything's
we might try to qualify.
Do you guys know when was the
Our
last time
grandkids.
India qualified for the World Cup?
I
Did
think
India
someone-
ever qualify?
Yeah, we did, but we
India
didn't know
did
how to play with
qualify.
shoes, right?
I think it was by 1950 or
Oh
something.
yeah.
Yeah,
But we were not allowed to play barefoot or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
initial thing which came out. But later on, there was cost and ticket expenses which couldn't be covered by the Indian government, I think. And here we are. It's the same issue. Only thing we haven't qualified yet. So great.
Oh, we forgot one more person who is
Yeah.
a fellow Guna, who's still mending his broken heart after the historic loss of the Champions League final at the hands of PSG. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it.
After appearing in the historic final, I would say, and after winning the Premier League after 22 years, been a long wait, but it has finally come home, I would say.
Yeah, it's fine. There's so many homes.
Yeah.
Adi, it is absolute delight to have you here. Which can I just say?
But we love that final.
Yeah, can I just say, congratulations on winning the Premier League. I don't know why everyone is
Yeah.
focusing on the Champions League.
I
loss.
know, right?
And
Thank you.
congratulations on, giving me one of the most boring Champions League finals I've ever seen,
Yeah.
This close.
Yeah.
This close.
Yeah, I think I
Arsenal
wanted to
dragged
go.
PSG down to Arsenal's level.
It's a defensive display, call whatever you wanted, but
Their
we were
defense.
playing. Yeah, we were playing beautiful football. We were not winning anything, but now that we are playing proper defensive football, now we are starting to win something. So I would say
Yeah.
a step in the right direction.
So should you still support Arsenal on this style of football, Aditya?
I mean, if we are getting the right results, then why not? Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
that is proper Arteta mentality versus
Uh,
modern performance.
Question for Adi: would you be open to the same tactics being used in this World Cup? Do you think Arsenal has infected the zeitgeist enough that we're mainly going to be watching for corners?
I think there will be teams who will be playing a lot defensively since they know they can't attack that really well. Depending upon the how tall are the center backs, how big are the center backs, there might be teams who will be looking forward to getting a lot of set pieces and then scoring a lot from that. So defend a lot, and then score from chip break or a set piece. It's possible some teams would go for it.
I want to add to that. I think he has a point there, given like how certain teams, let's say looking at the Netherlands, they have one of the top 3 or top 10 defenders playing for them. No, they have 3 top 10 defenders playing for them, and I think they're all starting caliber. And if Koeman wants to go back 3, I think they might sit a little deep with De Jong feeding off good through balls or long balls to the wide forwards and Depay going and scoring one on the counter. It's likely. Even Tuchel, I mean, he had one of the worst spells for a Bayern manager, and the one that I wanted to gouge my eyes out, how Adi would have felt watching Arsenal play during the initial days. But then I think with how the England team's been selected, the guy he's a very shrewd tactician, and I think he has one of the best minds in the game after, let's say, Pep. He is one of the most clinical knockout specialists, I feel. And against Madrid in the 2024 Champions League semi-final with Bayern, if it wasn't for Neuer's mistake, I think his tactics would have got us to the final, where we would have faced off, I think, Dortmund. And the same tactics we played, I think we were the underdogs against Arsenal in the quarters, and he kind of knocked them out of the park with one of the worst displays that I've ever seen.
He led that average Chelsea team into a Champions League trophy. So
Yeah.
that is not something we can just step aside.
So I think he is a knockout specialist.
So England are a team to watch out for.
So, Dr. Shak, what you're talking about, what was your first World Cup? Do you remember that memory?
The first World Cup which I was engaged was in 2002 World Cup, which was won by Brazil, of course. And I don't know what made. I'm a big fan of Germany. The Mannschaft, Vishnu. Yeah. So I don't know what. I think it was called West Germany or something that time. So I really liked how they played football, even at the age of maybe 6 or 7 years. I don't know how many of you believe it, but yeah. And later on, we moved on to the 2006 World Cup, where the World Cup was in Germany.
Behold.
And I was really heartbroken when we got beat by Italy. Yeah. And of course, 2014 World Cup was the one where we absolutely thrashed the host, that was Brazil. And then we kicked out Argentina as well in the final. So that made me love Germany even more. But 2018 and 2022, okay, fine. It was not a great World Cup for us. But I think this World Cup, we have a pretty good chance of at least reaching the quarters or semis. But I don't think we have the squad exactly to take it to the next level, like France or England or whatever it is.
Dr. Shak, you keep saying we. What about Germany made you consider them a we?
I think all the players, especially in the 2014 World Cup, like Schweinsteiger, Philipp Lahm, all these hardworking, passionate players, Khedira, Mesut Ozil, all these players. I actually liked how they played football. And yeah, that's exactly what I liked about Germany. And I did not want to follow the path like everyone is always Brazil, Argentina, Brazil, Argentina. Portugal, Ronaldo. You always support a team which plays good football, not just based on individual performance. That's what I felt that time, and I still stand by it.
Perfect. Chiku, don't read
Yeah.
into the what Dr. Shaq said at the end. Vishnu, after that, you're another one of the wees. What was your first World Cup, man?
My first memory of the World Cup was 2006, and it was the final. Italy versus France, the headbutt. Iconic final. And I think I was too young to really understand, how or which team to support back then. I was probably like, oh, my dad's supporting this team, so I think that's probably a cool thing to do. And I think my dad was also quite unconventional. And as he would say, he was a Holland fan. He wouldn't call it the Netherlands. He would say he was a Holland fan. But then yeah, he did like the South Americans. He did like Argentina and Brazil as well. But if you ask me, like a core memory would certainly be the 2010 World Cup. All my friends were like, Portugal, Ronaldo, Kaká for Brazil, then Messi, Higuain, Tevez for Argentina. And I'm like, no, man, this is just not for me. And then I see a bunch of young lads running around, being very lanky, not much of skills, just going there, thrashing team after team. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think this is my team. I think these are my boys. And I think the cherry on top was when Joachim Löw's team beat Argentina in the quarterfinal 4-0. 4-2, right? 4-2. I think with Muller scoring, that was probably the best memory I've had. And I think what we created that day, it transpired into us winning the World Cup in 2014. It was so good. I actually thought we'd get knocked out against France because we had something going on. I think it was a flu or a stomach bug. I don't remember. And then it was a corner, Hummels header straight in. That was it. And thank God for Higuain and thank God for Neuer. Otherwise, we'd be saying something else. Or hopefully, I don't think we'd have gotten knocked out in 2018 because, I cried. Like, I cried that the day we got knocked out. I was in Muscat at the time, and it was disappointing. It was so disappointing. We had one of the best qualifiers. We won 8 out of 8. I think somebody from our team was the top scorer. We were in it. Most of the team had like Bayern players and Madrid players, and then I think Madrid won the Champions League. I think it was the end of the three-peat, and then Bayern players were also in the forms of their life, but something just didn't click in that World Cup. And especially when that free kick went in, right?
Toni
Kroos's
Kroos.
free kick. I thought maybe, against Korea we could do it. But no, we didn't do it. And then came Qatar. Hansi Flick coming off the sextuple with Bayern. I thought, you know what, maybe this guy could do it. Again, we were doing really well at the qualifiers, and they played a match against Oman in Muscat as one of the friendlies, and my dad told me he went for the game and he said it was one of the worst matches that he's seen. And I'm arguing with him, no, it's just the friendlies, it's the heat, they don't want to waste their energy, all that. But he's like, no, I've seen these guys play, they're just not gonna do it. And he's like, probably around the 16th and are out. I'm like, no, man, Hansi Flick, he's got the team, he's got the boys. But then the first match, we scored the first goal against Japan, and then there was a stupid thing that Rudiger is doing, mocking I think I forgot who the winger was. He was running, doing high knees. I have no idea what he was trying to do. And we lost. And the next match was against Spain, I guess.
Yes.
And we drew that match. And the last match against Costa Rica, obviously, Bayern players have had a history with Navas. Navas, when he's faced them, he goes into, I think, Lev Yashin form, fused with a prime Neuer, fused with Iker Casillas. He's got like 10 hands. The man's not going to let anything go through. And somehow we stage a comeback and we think Japan are going to lose to Spain. Spain doing incredibly well, but no. You know what? Luis Enrique decides, you know what? I don't want to be group winners. I'll go second. We got knocked out. we get knocked out. And if you ask me, do I have expectations this year? I did after the Euros, but then Nagelsmann's not really convinced me with how he selected the teams. He's not formed a core. He's always switching. And I don't think Kimmich should be a right back because he played excellent with the midfield pairing of Pavlovic at Bayern. So I think changing that tactic up seems a little questionable for me. But then I do get his point where we don't have someone of Kimmich's caliber to deliver crosses. And yeah, I'm open-minded, but I don't think we'll see a lot of us in the later stages unless something really drastic happens and we do play really good football. Fingers crossed on Musiala though. Maybe if the guy can get back at least to 70% of what he was prior to the World Cup and Donnarumma breaking his leg, thank you. Maybe.
You guys got
What
Kai
is it?
Havertz.
I don't even talk about that guy. I don't know. No, for me, like I like Havertz as a player, but then he's not Mario Gomez. He's not Podolski. He's not Klose. He's not someone he's more like someone who can be behind them. I feel like, if you play Voltemada up front and him behind, it would be better. But no, I don't think Nagelsmann's going to play Voltemada up front.
Yeah, I
and,
think it's going to be Kai Havertz up front. Voltemada
Kai
probably
Havertz up
coming in
front
from the bench.
behind Musiala, left would be Wirtz, and right, I think it's Sane. Yeah. Again, that's questionable for me. Sane was horrible for Gala, man. He was
But
just.
we don't have a like-to-like replacement. I mean, Leonard
Yeah.
Carl was
I
good,
mean, that's
but-
a sad thing, right? Leonard
Yeah.
Carl was so good last season, especially that goal against Arsenal in the group stage. I mean, he just came out of
Yeah.
nowhere, bam, goal. And that was his first start. So, let's see.
Who do you want it right back though, if not for Kimmich?
I don't know. I think Nene Brown would be good. So he's
But
coming to
he's a-
Bayern, by the way. He's coming to Bayern, by
Brown.
the way.
Oh, great. He's
Yeah,
from
he's
Leipzig.
coming to
Yeah?
Bayern.
He's
No,
from
Frankfurt.
Leipzig, I guess.
Frankfurt.
Oh, great. Okay, fine.
It's so interesting that you talk about Miroslav Klose and Havertz is not very good for his club. If you talk about one player that was fantastic for the World Cup and really pretty forgettable for their club, Miroslav Klose has got to be the top of the list.
Of
Right?
course, 100%.
The guy barely did anything at club level and yet is a World Cup legend. Not to
I
say
love
Kai
the
Havertz-
celebrations. The somersault. Oh, that was great. Especially after scoring against Argentina.
Yeah. The thing is, these, like, if you look at the 2014 team or the 2018 team, mainly, let's just talk about the 2014 team for a second. There were players who always started, and then there were players who would come off the bench. The passion that they had, right? They were there just for one thing. We have to win the match. If I'm getting hurt, I don't mind. I'm gonna. If I have to break a leg, I'll break a leg. If I have to run with that broken leg, I'll do that. If I have to score with a bloodied face, I'll do that too. Like Schweini in the final.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't see that type of players right now with Germany, barring Kimmich.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone with that mentality. And as much as I love Neuer, I don't think, this is the strain is, I feel like it's too much for him. We've had a long season, the Club World Cup, the Champions League, the DFB Pokal, the Bundesliga. He's 40 and he's just coming off a calf strain, which is a recurring calf strain. So it's a bit questionable. All in all.
Yeah, but I still think he's going to be performing pretty incredible for his age. So,
Yeah, hands down. That's true.
yeah.
But I feel Neuer is a different beast in World Cups and knockouts.
But he's had one of the worst World Cups, 2018 and 2022 was one of the, I think Neuer's performances were really tragic.
I think against South Korea, where he was so far ahead to score the equalizer or winning goal, and Son Wenden was through on ball, and that was one of the worst games I've seen actually,
Yeah.
especially as a German fan.
I didn't watch the
Okay.
World Cup after.
Okay, let's have some optimism at least moving into this World Cup. I feel like most of my time over this entire tournament is going to be wrestling this from becoming a Germany podcast from the two of you. So with the hopes of moving forwards and upwards and optimism, Chiku, talk to us, man. Come on, what is your
Yeah.
first World Cup memory,
Yeah.
favorite World
Yeah,
Cup memory?
so
I think I started with the 2010 World Cup. My dad introduced me to the sport, and he was like, "Watch Brazil," because my dad grew up with Brazil in their heyday, right? Winning back-to-back World Cups, having beautiful players. And when I came into Brazil, it was like start of their downfall. I don't want to say downfall, but for the past at least 3 World Cups, they were always the favorites or one of the favorites, but they always managed to screw it up somehow. So I remember watching the quarterfinals 2010 with my dad, and we lost to Netherlands 2-1, I think, if I remember correctly, for 2010. And I was disappointed. 2014, I don't really want
Yeah,
to
please
talk
elaborate
about.
on that match if you
Yeah,
can.
yes, please.
I would love to hear it.
2014. I won't
Don't fall into the
talk
trap,
about the
Chico.
20. Yeah, I won't talk about the 2014 one at home. I really expected Brazil to win that one. Like even the 2010 one, we had Kaká, and Kaká, I remember, didn't even score one goal for Brazil in that tournament, if I remember correctly. Even Messi didn't score that World Cup. But like both of those were the young players to look out for that tournament, and both of them were like goalless throughout their entire run. And 2014, it's a bad memory. Like I remember watching the game with my dad late at night. 3 goals in, he's like, "I'm going to sleep." And I stayed up alone watching the entire game, and I didn't want to go to school next day. And, like, we had a big Argentina Brazil thing in our class, like the different factions, and I didn't really want to go back to classes. So it was a bad memory, the 2014 World Cup. 2018 also, it was disappointing. I think we managed to get to the quarters, and Belgium knocked us out 2-1 again.
De Bruyne
We
was
still
good.
had a good squad, and again, at De Bruyne's goal, yeah, and we still managed to screw it up. And last year, I think we were knocked out in the penalty shootouts by Croatia. We were in the lead 1-0, and once we scored that goal, everybody sort of relaxed. If I remember correctly, the entire squad was like, "Yeah, we got it, we won," and we started playing horrible football after getting the lead. And I think Modric scored back, if I remember correct. Was it Modric or
Yeah,
Perisic?
yeah.
Somebody
But
scored back,
No, it
what
was
a goal
a
by
and
Neymar.
Neymar's.
Neymar's goal was excellent.
And that
And
was the
up to
105th
that
minute, I
point, they were
guess.
playing. Yeah, they were playing beautiful football up to that point. It was very tight, very competitive, very tight. They were full engines running, and once they scored that goal, they let it go. Like
No,
they were so
you know
loose. Uh,
what it reminds me? You remember Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, or I think it's Revenge of the Fallen, or some Transformers will be like Optimus says, "I'll do it myself," and then that's what Neymar did
yeah,
with that goal. I'll
yeah,
do it myself,
yeah.
and bam.
Neymar's goal. Yeah.
All right. Adi, come on, talk to
Yes.
us. If you think about it, Adi, you could be on a sensational run, depending on the team that I know you support and we know you support, and they have a really good chance. I think they have the best chance of winning. If you end up having your team win the World Cup after your club side just took away the domestic league, like what a year for you, man. This is like Zoran Mamdani levels of success. How are you feeling? What was your first World Cup? Do you remember?
My first memory of my World Cup was me waking up and asking my mom what happened in the final. So it was the 2006 final, and it was the France-Italy World Cup. And mom was like, Zidane got sent off. So she was actually a fan of Maldini, and she supported
Oh,
Italy.
great.
Yeah. So that's my first memory. And then from there on, we started sitting together and watching the World Cup. So I think the second one was the Spain one. The Spain winning the World Cup, if I remember correctly.
2010, yeah.
Yeah,
2010.
2010. Yeah. Iniesta.
Netherlands, I guess, in the final.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2-0.
Iniesta.
No, 1-0,
Yeah.
I guess.
Iniesta. 1-0, I think.
I think
Yeah.
Iniesta
Iniesta scoring in the extra
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Extra time. Takes off his shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I mean, the football that Spain played this tournament was insane. The tiki-taka football, if you could call it. and they are still kind of doing the same this season. I mean, recently, especially with Lamine Yamal arriving, and I think he's the best player in the world at the moment.
Is he
I would
there
say
for the first game though? Lamine Yamal.
I think he would be there. Yeah. So I
Oh,
He
think
is injured, so he has I think a toe injury right now.
Oh, I thought it was the same old pubic bone issue.
Don't be like that. Don't be like that, Vishnu. We're not Foul Mouth FC.
don't get us cancelled on day one.
Okay, so Adi, then tell us, what is your team right now?
Yeah. My team is Spain. I also like Germany because I've been to Germany and I was there for like the 3 years or 4 years. But I think Germany doesn't have the quality of the team that is needed to win the World Cup this time out. But I think Spain has it. I also think France has it. So it's going to be very tight between them. So these are the two teams I think has a solid chance of winning the World Cup this time out.
Well, if you believe in the betting markets, they're the number one favorites, right? It's like
Yes.
16% chance that they're going to come away with it, which is really saying a good deal with all of this. Moving
What about
past-
you? What about you?
So
Your memory.
my first World Cup memory, thank you for asking, was the 2002 World Cup. It was, I almost hate admitting this in front of both of you. My father was a huge Germany fan.
Yeah.
And he just knew exactly how to sell it to me as a kid. He was like, he talked about the characters, right? He was like, this is Oliver Kahn. He is known as the octopus. Nothing gets past this man. He is a lock. And it was just seeing him. He was everything you want in an epic hero, right? He wasn't pretty. He almost looked like this massive gorilla. He was courageous. He was powerful. And then on the
Bad
other
as well. Mad
was a
Titan.
bad man.
absolutely
Yeah.
I have a theory that all of the best goalkeepers have something wrong with them, right? To have a ball that is coming at you at full speed and you saying, I want to go at it, something happens to be wrong up here. It has to be. And then on the other side, Brazil side, they were led by the 3 R's, right? They had the 3 R's right in front with Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, and they felt like the opposite to what Germany was. It was the perfect story. And it's interesting that we're talking here where Adi is saying that his second team is Germany. Dr. Shaq and Vishnu's favorite teams are Germany. It's not common to have a favorite team as Germany. We're in Kerala, right? And when you go out, you see the posters for the team. In Kavur, you will see these like 30-foot tall, like placards of the different players. You have Messi, you have Ronaldo, you have Harry Kane. I have not yet seen one of Florian Wirtz or
You will not see one of Florian Wirtz. You would see the whole German team. It's there in Muttur, you know. Generally, I'm surprised you saw a Harry Kane one. You know, Harry Kane's or England, for that matter, banners are relatively new. I think there's
Yeah.
probably like maybe Gen Z. But you know, the old guns, right? It's always Argentina, Brazil, Germany, then Portugal. I think Portugal is probably like, you know, from our generation.
Yeah.
The ones earlier, like my dad's generation or our father's generation, would be Argentina, Brazil, Germany. Because my dad, he's told me like his memory, something that he told me was, you know, Germany winning the 1984 World Cup. And the one before was when Maradona stole it from them, you know, with his insane play, the final. And he said, like, the first time when the photo was of Maradona and Lothar Matthäus again in the 1984 final, the thought process in Maradona's head was like, yeah, I know we're not going to win it this time. These guys are here to take it back. And they did. It's fun that you talk about the 2002. You know, it was one of the worst displays of the German national team in a World Cup. They weren't expecting to qualify, I think, out of the group stage itself. And somehow they did. And every time the man of the match was Oli Khan. It was always him. And I think for the final, he had a shoulder issue. Either he had a shoulder bruise or he had dislocated a shoulder. I don't remember which one of the two. But then he did have a shoulder issue.
Ako, you didn't. Are you also supporting Germany though? You
Oh,
didn't say your team.
yeah.
I didn't actually answer the question.
Yeah.
I think this is a cop out, right? Because I think I'm just a huge fan of the tournament. I adore what can happen. I still think of Shabalaba's goal in 2012,
Oh,
right?
Africa.
A goal for
Yeah.
South Africa, a goal for all Africa. It's stuff like that that even Qatar beating, was it Qatar beating Argentina at the opener?
No, Saudi.
Yeah,
Saudi beat Argentina.
Saudi beating Argentina, even stuff like that. It's just this tournament is incredible. And I kind of want, I think this is a perfect way to go into my next question for you guys. The thing about this tournament is beauty. It's love. It's, to me, it's the greatest thing that happens. I have so much more love for this than I have for the Olympics. And yet, FIFA is one of the worst organizations there are.
100%.
They are now being
Most
hosted.
corrupt as well.
Yeah, Dr. Shaq, they're incredibly corrupt, right? And so on top of that, they are also being hosted by lots of love for Canada and Mexico, but the US is actively making this as difficult as possible. You have Briel Embolo, who's not allowed in the country for a while. You have people that aren't allowed into the stadium until well past kickoff because they've done so terribly. You have people using this as for political reasons. And despite that, you kind of want this World Cup to kick off because you kind of want the football to distract from the football. So my question leading into this is, are you excited about this World Cup, specifically about this World Cup? Are you frustrated? Are you looking forward to it? Is it despite the frustration? Is there the beauty? How does your heart sit for this next 1 month?
I mean, obviously, we all are excited in the footballing sense. Like, but since it's in the US and because of all those drama and the geopolitical tensions going on, and this football is kind of a leveler, which helps us to relieve from all the stress and watch the games with passion. Even though it's at midnight, the Brazil-Morocco game example, it's at 3:30 a.m. But I'm 100% sure everyone is going to watch it because it's at a Saturday night, I guess. So just forget about all this, whatever the Trump is saying, going attacking Iran, whatever it is. Just focus on the football. And I just hope and I just pray that there's nothing which can cut this tournament in half. Like maybe a war or something or whatever it is. I hope it goes on smoothly and we get a deserving World Cup winner at the end, like Germany, maybe. Yeah.
Just, oh gosh, guys. Chiku, what do you think, brother?
Yeah, I agree with what Dr. Shaq said. So, the games are more important than what's going around the games. So, people are tuned in to watch the games, and I hope the games go smoothly. But in sense of a level of excitement, I don't think nothing peaked past 2010 World Cup, right? There was something special about that World Cup. There was like a buzz that's not present, especially 2022 and I think this year because of the host nations, maybe because you don't expect that World Cup energy to come from American citizens who call football soccer, right? People on the streets celebrating. I don't expect to see that, especially when it was in Qatar too, because the rules are different there and it's a bit more regulated and you can't scream and run on the streets in Qatar. You can do that in the US, I presume, but I don't think the hosting nations citizens have a level of understanding on how big the tournament is, right? On how important the tournament is for the rest of the world. So I think there is a bit of that going on, but in terms of the games, I think the rest of the world will definitely tune in because this is the biggest tournament in the world, right? Happens once in 4 years, one of the most watched sports in the history. So I'm excited. I'll definitely tune in and watch as many games as possible at the cost of sleep, but it only happens once in 4 years, so you can't really complain, right?
And it's going to cost about 4 years of your life.
Yep. A good 4 years, I'm willing to give away.
Aditya, what do you think, man?
Yes. I think regardless of wherever the games are going to be situated, like even if it's in Antarctica, there will be a ton of people who are, willing and ready to watch. I would say for the fans, I think the cost of the tickets are so insanely high. I heard that. I don't know if it's true, but it's so insanely high. Yeah, it's gonna be really tough for the fans to attend the games, especially for the teams they want to support. But for people who are sitting at home, I think it's okay for us, and we can, neglect the fact that it's posted there, and we can sit, sleep, and watch the entire tournament, in front of our eyes.
Yeah, well said. Vishnu, what do you think, man? Are you excited about this? Do you have your concerns? How are you feeling going into this?
I am excited. Anything football related. I think irrespective of where the World Cup is going to be, obviously it's exciting. But the thing that I want to mention is, FIFA always says, it shouldn't be political. Okay, we have our rules, and they say, whatever happens when we host something, I mean, we're not going to let it affect the integrity of the sport. Infantino just threw that out of the park, man. Like, but what's been going on? He said, I mean, he said he cannot interfere into the immigration aspects of nations, but he's done that in the past at Russia. He's done that in the past, I think, with the under 16 or under 19 World Cups. He's always done that. And football should be for everyone. And I think this is the only time in in human history, or let's say it's the only time where everyone really forgets about anything else, just watches TV or the radio, or you can see people from different walks of life uniting for one thing. Okay, this game. Uh, for example, the 2022 final was one of the most viewed things in the world. I don't think anything's beaten that, even now. And see, Americans calling it soccer, I don't think they're going to change. And it's not the first time they're hosting the World Cup as well. I mean, if they didn't do it then, I don't think they're going to do it even now. So it's up to them. I mean, when the whole world's calling it football, and when they're at their place calling it football, I think they'll be succumb to pressure, and probably maybe they're in their heads a light bulb glows and they're like, yeah, you know what? Let's play with our feet. Maybe we should call it football. But no, I don't think they do it. And hopefully we'd have fun. We have like a lot of exciting prospects. We have Lamine Yamal, we have Michael Olise, Wirtz, Musiala, Pavlovich, a lot of people, a lot of kids basically, younger than us, way, way younger than us, who are probably at their first World Cups, and a lot of people, lot of legends at their last, like Mola, Ronaldo, Messi, Modric. Let's see, it's going to be exciting. What about you, man? Let me know. Let me know. Are you excited? What are you looking forward to the most?
I don't mean to disappoint you terribly, but there is no chance at all that the Americans are going to start calling this football.
Yeah, I know.
It's just, I'm sorry. There's certain ships that we have to just agree are sailed and they're off.
Coming from the American himself.
Sadly, I know this is a certain amount of guilt and frustration that this is my own family that I'm fighting with. I'm excited. Here's the thing that, if I can speak honestly about this, here's the thing that really actually upsets me. So I lived in Los Angeles for a long time, and the Olympics are going to be hosted in Los Angeles in 2 years, right? So it's a huge time for the US. I know people who worked on that Olympic pitch commission, right? Like the people who are behind, like trying to make sure the Olympics is chosen. And everything that they've worked for feels like it's been co-opted by this other group that just came in. And so there's a lot of upset and frustration around the people that I know who worked on the World Cup bid as well, who, because it's football, aren't white Americans, they're Mexicans, and they're Hispanic, and they're black, and they're people that are currently now in danger of going to the same World Cup because ICE officials are there arresting people. So there's a certain amount of frustration that I do have. At the end of the day, it's World Cup, and it's the most beautiful time. It's the thing that we keep talking about. We're already talking about it. Vishnu already kind of took us into this conversation, but this does feel like the last dance. I've never felt it feel more like the last dance. We're talking Messi's last World Cup. Cristiano says he'll come back in 2030, so he may be back playing. I never know when that guy's out. It very well could be Cristiano's last, Neymar's last, Modric's last, Salah's
Forgot
last,
about Neymar.
right?
Neuer's-
Neuer's last. Very well could be Van Dijk's last. I don't remember a time like this when we are seeing so many legends who are incredible at the game and we are seeing them off. How do we feel about this? I'm not particularly excited about the next generation. I don't know how excited you're going to try to make me about Kylian Mbappe. He doesn't make me feel that thing in the pit of my stomach that Messi does. Dembele just cannot make me feel that same joy that even Cristiano Ronaldo or Virgil van Dijk or Neuer or any of these people actually do. Forget about Salah. Salah is my number one. I don't know how hyped I can be about 2030, knowing the legends that are walking out right now.
We have been watching them, most of them, since 2006 World Cup. I think it was the first World Cup of Ronaldo and Messi as well. And here we are almost 20 years later, watching them as adults, responsible adults. So, yeah, it's obviously going to be very sad World Cup for us, since this is the last World Cup for most of these great, amazing, legendary players. And exactly, like, even I don't feel anything special about Mbappe or Dembele or Olise or this all three are from France. Any other team, Lamine Yamal, like they are exciting on the pitch, but what these group of players have given us in terms of passion, in terms of memory. I mean, I loved it when Germany beat Argentina 4-2 with Maradona as a coach and with Messi as a player. But once Messi was on the field, we knew he was going to be a very special player. So I don't think we are going to get that type of Messi level type of player again. Maybe Yamal can do that, but I don't know with all his injuries and this stuff. Next 20 years, how he's going to be. Maybe he can be a great player, but I don't think he can be a godly player like Messi. That's what I mean. So 2030 World Cup, I mean, we all will be still excited after 4 years, but our excitement might be cut short in half without the likes of Ronaldo. Maybe Ronaldo will be playing in the 2030 World Cup, still missing chances as usual. But we just,
No, we're getting cancelled on day one.
no
yeah.
offense to
We're getting
Ronaldo
unnecessary.
fans. If you watch yesterday's game, you know how he played.
We're getting cancelled.
Yeah, so
Can we just make sure to never mention the hospital that Dr. Shaq works at?
Yeah. No doxing him.
I mean, obviously, I like Ronaldo. He was a Manchester United
Yeah,
player.
yeah, take it back. Take it back.
Fine, he's a legend now, but still, I don't think he can still carry forward the legacy which he had carried forward from Portugal in this World Cup. And with that midfield three behind him, I think he is now, his responsibility has been reduced a little bit. But obviously, he has to finish at least 70 to 80% of chances which they provide for at least having a chance for them in this World Cup. And I don't think Portugal will go further higher because, okay, the midfield three is fine, but what about the forward and what about the defense? Okay. So talking about the question, yeah, obviously, this is the final World Cup where we are going to see all these legends play for the one last dance. And 2030, maybe we can talk about that time, who the good players are, who the better players are.
Yeah.
And Mbappe, he is obviously a tournament player and he performs always well in the tournaments. But he's not at the level of Ronaldo and Messi or that level of fan cult following which he doesn't have. So obviously, we need to enjoy this World Cup, forget about where it is being conducted or whatever. Just wake up at 3:30, watch Brazil versus Morocco or Germany versus Curacao, whatever game it is, and just enjoy the game. That's all I want to say. Okay.
Vishnu, I saw you nodding along during that.
Yeah, I nod to Germany versus Curacao. Yeah. Yeah.
Guys,
I
we have to do a podcast episode where you guys are not allowed to bring up Germany. Like,
all right. It might be tough, but okay, I'll try.
Vishnu, how do you feel about what may seem like the changing of the guard right now?
For me, see, the thing is, I like how Ronaldo and I like how Messi play, but then I've never been their fans. I mean, I'm not like, oh, Ronaldo this, oh, Ronaldo that, oh, Messi this, Messi that. They are amazing players. Uh, I mean, I've been more unconventional that, is it funny to say that, one of my favorite players was Thomas Muller? Yeah, so
No one's favorite players.
exactly what I'm saying, So I've never really felt like how certain people feel about these guys. But then, yeah, I mean, what Messi did at the World Cup in 2022, I think it might be difficult to replicate that by anyone in today's generation. But also, you're right in a way that, we may not see players being as dedicated as to their craft, like how the old guards were. I mean, Neuer, Muller, or your Ronaldo, Messi, even Pepe, Modric, Neymar, all these guys, they just want to play for the nation. They do anything to be at the World Cup. They'll sacrifice anything if and everything just to put on the country's shirt and just go there and do their shit. So I'm not sure, like, let's say an Mbappe would be willing to go that far, or let's say Lamine Yamal willing to go the extra mile to, maybe I have to sacrifice something for the greater good. I don't think they do that because I feel like these guys are more into the PR and they want the Ballon d'Or shouts. I'm still surprised people wanted Lamine Yamal to win the Ballon d'Or over Ousmane Dembele last season. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. For what? Just winning the La Liga and having a really good season? That makes no sense. I mean, if that's the case, people like Kane should have won like 15 Ballon d'Ors by now. Or Lewandowski should have won like 4 or 5 Ballon d'Ors by now. But unfortunately, that's not how the game works, right? So these people, it might be different. It might be different in a way, like, we'd see a lot more celebs at these World Cups, and we'll see a lot more uninspired reviews. That's my only worry. But the excitement would still be there because fans are of different generations. If my grandfather was still alive, he'd still watch the games. His son, I'd watch, and maybe, like, future generations ahead, we'll all still watch the games with the same passion because it's just the flow of, we all love the game, and it's something that you can even just watch with your friends at a bar or at home. Just call everyone over, cut a slice of cake or eat some pizza or chips for that matter, drink some booze. It's one of the best things you can do. So I think the excitement would still be there, but you won't see a lot of dedicated players, which might be a little upsetting. That's all.
Chiku, can we come to you for some Ronaldo defense, man? Because, like, talk to us. How do you feel about this being his final World Cup?
The Real Madrid fan in me wants to absolutely stand up and defend Ronaldo, but yeah, I think he would really make an impact if he's subbed in as like an impact finisher, not at the end, towards the end of the game, right? Not playing the entire 90 minutes. That would make a big difference for the entire team as well. But yeah, I agree with the fact that Ronaldo is not what Ronaldo used to be, but it's his last World Cup, so I'm going to give him his flowers. I'll still watch all of his games. I'll
Are you sure it's going to be his last World Cup?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be his last World Cup. It would be two. If Ronaldo plays one more World Cup, I don't think the Portugal management is doing a good job of picking up players, and I would root for them to do so actually if he plays for 2030.
I mean, he has the fitness to play even one or
Yeah,
two World Cups again.
He's
Just
as
not
fit
at the
as
same pace, though.
he's not as fit as he used to be, but he's keeping up with the younger kids right now. So that's something to admire. Yeah. But yeah, I think Portugal along with Japan are going to be the dark horses of this World Cup. So they might cause some upsets, right? I think Japan, Portugal, Netherlands. These three are my dark horses. My favorites would be France, Spain, and England. Those three have the most well-rounded team, and especially France has really good depth into their squad.
Nice.
But I would be happy if Portugal won. It's like a long shot. They are nobody's favorites, right? Only hyper Ronaldo fans and the Portuguese people consider Portugal their favorites. So
That makes about 2/3 of the world population.
Yeah, if Instagram is anything to go by.
yeah.
Chico, I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of people saying that they really like the look of Portugal. I'm seeing
Yeah,
They
I
have
mean,
really
yeah.
good midfield. The midfield is
Incredible
really
midfield.
good.
Incredible
Really good
midfield.
I
A
don't know.
solid defense as well.
Yeah.
I mean, if Liao can get his game together and Felix, is he playing?
Yeah,
he's-
Felix is
I
playing.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If those two also can get their things tight, they have a solid chance.
Yes.
Because
think-
midfield really wins you games, like especially in like tight matches. And Neves and Vitinha were one of the reasons why even Arsenal lost, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call Portugal to be an underdog or Portugal beating someone strong like England or France to be a major upset. I would say, I mean, if they
Yeah.
had the capability to beat France, then that wouldn't be called an upset per se. And depending on like talking about the team, I would say, yeah, indeed a very strong midfield. But when you go a bit forward and see the team, I wouldn't say they have what it takes to reach the levels of France or Spain. So it would be a very miracle run, I would say, if they go on to even get to the final.
It's like the
Yes.
2016 Euro win. Nobody expected them to win. Nobody. I think they would have got knocked
think-
out by
yeah.
Poland
Yeah.
if it wasn't for the penalty shootouts.
No, I think they were third in the group as well, and they went ahead in goal difference.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
They won the Euros. Like,
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
just
which is
Ronaldo and
sex-
his friends.
Yeah.
Which is exactly why I call them the dark horses, right? Like, yeah, nobody's expecting them to be the favorites or expecting them to win. Like,
Yeah, but
it
I
will be a
think this
surprise.
time around it's a
Yeah.
little different. I think if they get knocked out early would be one of the biggest upset.
Yeah, I'm like putting Japan and Portugal like in the same boat in terms like those teams have a really good squad, and it would be a surprise if they get knocked out early, and it would be a surprise if both of those go ahead and win too.
real quick, I'm not gonna allow this Portugal underdog conversation to go. Just so we're clear, Portugal is ranked 5th currently in the FIFA World
Exactly.
Rankings,
Yeah.
right? And if you're like, oh, but they're not number one, the number one world ranked team has never won the World Cup ever, right? So
True.
just a quick reminder for all those people who are kind of doing the un-Englandification, the un-Arsenalification of like being like, not us, little sweet little Portugal. What chance do we have? 5th best in the world. Now that I've mentioned Arsenal, Adi, come on, talk
Yes.
to us, man. How do you feel both about the changing of the guard right now with the legends leaving, and how do you feel about the tournament? Who's got the chances? And you cannot say Germany.
No, my bet is on Spain. My bet is always on Spain. I also would like Germany to win, but I don't think they have the squad for it. So I prefer Spain to win over them. And I would say Spain, France, and who else has a good chance? I would say Argentina. So Spain, France, and Argentina have a great chance coming into this World Cup. And I would say that depending upon the France has a lot of stars to the team. If you look at their attacking side, it's insane considering they have Olise, Dembele, Doué, and Mbappe.
Cola.
Yeah, Barcola. I wouldn't say Barcola is that good yet.
Good off
He
the
has to
bench,
work
right?
on yeah, certainly good off the bench, but he still misses a lot. He still has to get his finishing up to that, that stage. And they also have Cherki as well, who had an insane season with City. I think he's one of the best players in the Premier League at the moment. So I think depending upon how they perform, France has a really good chance. And Olise and Mbappe, as we know, they are some of the people who can actually win games on their own. I've seen how Olise play for Bayern as well as for France, and he's pretty insane form at the moment. So it could be France here, considering how heartbroken they were because of the previous World Cup.
My only worry about France is, their midfield. Their midfield and left back. I'm not really convinced by Theo Hernandez. I think they have a really good defense line with Upamecano and Saliba. And you have Konate as well. And then I think right back is going to be Malo Gusto. I'm not sure. Most
Yes,
likely.
Theo,
Also,
yeah,
Most
Theo
likely. But
Hernandez as
then
well.
Theo Hernandez left, right?
He's
Mhm.
left. He's left back,
Yeah.
and I think the other left back is Luca Dini. I think.
Look, yeah. So that's the
Luka
only
Dini,
place that
mhm.
worries me. And along with that, it's the midfield. You don't have someone as commanding as Pogba. You have
Yeah.
Choumeni,
Yeah.
but then we know what happened with him. And anybody else, I'm not really sure, who has Rabiot. No,
I
Rabiot
still
is
can't
on.
understand how he's still in the France midfield. I think he was there since
Who?
2016 World Cup. Rabiot, Adrian
Yeah,
Rabiot.
the thing is, he was young.
Yeah.
So it's like Marquinhos. He's been playing for a long time, and he'll probably be in the next two World Cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my worry about, France. I'm actually looking forward to England. I just don't know. I just don't know. I think the guy, he'll
Hold on,
just
one
fight.
sec. Before we move on from France, Vishnu, are we not going to talk about the elephant in the room, the N'Golo Kante of it all? If you are a fullback, they're bringing N'Golo Kante back. They're bringing the
Yeah,
70% of the world is covered in water, the rest is covered by
so
N'Golo
like
Kante.
Kante, but I haven't seen Kante play a lot recently, so that's why I kind of excluded him. But even then, I just feel like, France's weak point is the midfield. And I know for a fact Olise is starting. I know for a fact Dembele is starting. I know for a fact Mbappe is starting. Now the question is, Deschamps really did say he's not going to make him start at forward as a striker. Uh, that's what I want to know. Maybe it could be like, a free-flowing attack four of Cherki, Olise, but then you have Doué also, who needs to start. Where are they going to play these guys? That's the whole thing. And something that I really like from about this time, I heard Dembele actually after one of the training sessions, he told, he asked Kylian to, track back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this feels like the soap drama is on, right?
Yeah, but then the thing is, I feel like at this moment, right, Dembele has more command over the team because he's won the Champions League twice in a row. He's won the Ballon
Ballon
d'Or.
d'Or.
There are chances that he could do it again, and we haven't seen anyone other than Ronaldo or Messi do that in a long time.
Yeah, but it's a World Cup though.
It's a
So
World
it
Cup.
is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Exactly.
It is
So
where Mbappe has shown in the recent World Cups.
yeah, I mean, exactly. But for me, the worry is the midfield. And I think they have the attacking flair to make up for it. But then, at, let's say they're playing against a team of who just sit cramped at the back. They're not going to do anything. Their attack is just, throwing attack after attack after attack. But then, let's say a Vitinha gets the ball. He launches it straight into Liao's direction. Liao is fast. I mean, he can just is one-on-one with the goalie.
Yeah,
If he
but
scores,
to come back to France, though, sorry, Vishnu,
yeah.
can we actually talk about the thing that you just brought up, which is the conversation between Mbappe and Dembele?
Yeah.
You seem to see it as like an igniting thing, and like you guys are also talking about the Ballon d'Or and about him. To me, it feels very much like France 2008. It feels like egos are about to hit as hard as they possibly can. And
The thing is, the coach matters there. Deschamps is someone who's won the Champions League. He's won the World Cup as a player. He's won the World Cup as a coach. And it's difficult to, argue with someone who's done that before you or who's already done that.
But Vishnu, which ego do you know, like a world level ego like Mbappe's, who is going to actually sit down and that's the exact same reason that Cristiano Ronaldo is saying he'll be here 2030, right? He can still see all of these people that have won World Cups before him. He's not going to sit down and listen to them, right? Ego is ego. And
Ego, that matters. But then who's been his coaches? I mean, again, if just to sidetrack, Portugal's one of the weakest aspects for me would be the striker position and the coach. Martinez had the best Belgian generation at his disposal, and he didn't do jack shit with them. The same way, I just feel like, I mean, when you look at the 2022 World Cup, Mbappe was still, he was a hothead that time as well, he was demanding stuff over Griezmann and Hugo Lloris. But then when it matters, he did show up. And I think for France, he might just, not be the Mbappe that we've seen generally. I mean, he was an ass at PSG when in the 2022 World Cup. It didn't make things better. And yeah, Dembele also had a bad game. He was pulled off, I think, at 35 or something, or 36 minutes. I'm not sure, after the penalty that he gave. But he's evolved. Dembele has evolved a lot. I mean, his curve has been exponential. He's matured a lot. And I think the way they would have communicated with each other would have been like, you know what, it's okay. You can just come back, you can take the ball, give it to me, and then you can just run back and I'll feed it to you. We don't know exactly how the conversation went except for the headline, right?
yeah, but if I may, with the Roberto Martinez slander, can I also say that he's the same manager that got Belgium to a third place finish in 2018, right? If you remember,
only a third place.
But that was not good enough for the squad.
Hold on.
That's
Let's just talk about it. It's Belgium, and it was the semifinals, if I remember right, was Belgium versus France, and the score was 1-0.
Samuel
Versus-
Umtiti.
France then went to the final and won against Croatia 4-2. So
Yeah.
if you just base a scoreline off of it, and also if remembering the game, Belgium was closer to France than Croatia was. And if we go off of that, Belgium could easily be contested for being the second best team in the world. If we're saying golden generation means you have to walk away with it for a country like Belgium with their population and their infrastructure to make it that close is a success. Roberto
But what
Martinez-
about the 2021 Euro, then the 2022 World Cup? They didn't do good. They had the same team, the same core.
Yeah, but you can still put that against Joachim Low then. You can still say that.
Yeah,
hey, listen,
I'm
at the
saying,
end,
he
Germany
did.
fell off.
He overstepped.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not-
he's still a Germany legend, right? He's still an
He is, but
incredible
then
coach.
the way he left, it's tragic to his own reputation.
Hmm.
People wanted him away. They didn't want him anywhere near the national team. So I think that kind of does matter, right? And I mean, yeah, you can again ask me. Deschamps had Karim Benzema the 2021 Euro, and then how did that end up? They got knocked out. But they got knocked out because I feel like they were too careless. They lost in the penalties against Switzerland, and if they were way too overconfident, they subbed off, I think, 3 of their starters. Pogba was on the bench. They were all chilling. They never expected the equalizer to go in, and they got knocked out in penalties.
That's how
So-
Brazil lost to Croatia as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So come around to 2022 World Cup, I don't think people expected France to be in the final. And they went toe to toe. It was probably the best final ever. Again, if it wasn't for Emiliano Martinez or Randall Colomani, I mean, I don't want to slander the kid, but then he had the option to just slide the pass to Mbappe and it would have been 4-3 and game over. But, it happens. So I feel like they've come further away. They have a solid chance, is what I'm saying, irrespective of what they do. Maybe they'll just grind it out. Because I remember in the 2022 final, Mbappe went back to the defense. So it's possible.
Vishnu, who do you expect to win this World Cup?
I would say I want Germany to win, but I know for a fact we're not going to win because I'm not convinced by Nagelsmann as much. But then I think it could be Spain's really good. You know, Spain's really, really good. It could be either Spain, France, or England. Harry Kane is in the form of his life. Michael Olise is in the form of his life. Spain as a whole are in the form of their lives. But again, Spain, I think Rodri hasn't been that good this season. So it's a question mark for me. Other than that, I don't see. I think, Japan could make a really solid run. They're always underestimated. Nobody really appreciates. But when it comes to the game, they're always there. They're going toe to toe with the big guns. That's my prediction. And maybe if somehow Portugal try to figure out their attack, they could also have a strong thing.
Nice. All right. Chiku, who do you think is going to take away that beautiful golden trophy? Who do you think is going to...
If I was a betting man, I would bet on France or Spain or maybe even England. My favorite team is Brazil, so I want them to win, but I think it's the first time and since I've started watching the World Cup, this is the weakest squad yet for this World Cup. And I think the strongest point of the Brazil squad is, I think, Ancelotti. It's for the first time that the coach is like superseding the players, right?
Yeah.
So I want Brazil to win, but I think France, Spain, and England, as Vishnu said, have a really, really strong squad. Like if it was like Formula One and each country could send in 2 squads, France would have 2 great squads.
Yeah.
3 great squads.
Yeah, maybe even 3, right? So that's how much depth they have in their team. And I think I would really be happy if Japan or Morocco could pull off a win. It would be really sweet. And like they haven't won yet, and a small team coming and the underdogs winning the World Cup would be a really good story for everyone. Yeah, but I think France will be, at some point of their way they would have to face any one of these 3 teams, right? France, Spain, or England would be there to put a stop to their run, and they have to overcome that wall.
But I love the fact that you brought up Morocco, right? Who are arriving very dangerously to this World Cup. They lost just once in 16 qualifying matches. They beat England at Wembley. I think of the African countries, I am most excited about Morocco.
I forgot to mention Ivory Coast. And they just beat France. They just beat... Yeah, I think they're also one to watch for. Jan Diamonde is there. I mean, he's going to be the break. Yeah, Diamonde is already in the market, and Leipzig want 100 mil for him. I mean, if he does at least 50% or 60% of what he's done in Leipzig this season, I think that transfer fees is going to go way more than 100. We're going to see a lot of people's overinflated transfer quotations. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Speaking of overinflated, James Rodriguez is back. Hey, Dr. Shaq, come on. What you thinking? Dark horses, who do you think is going to be walking away with this tournament?
Yeah, as much as I hate to admit it, I think England's going to win this World Cup. My bold prediction could go brilliantly as well as terribly.
It's going home.
I can't imagine that. Because as you have seen, the last World Cups, they have always been at the semi-final or quarter-final. But the only thing which stopped them from going towards the final or playing free for football was Southgate. And he is exactly not the manager England wanted. And now they have got Tuchel. And as we all know, he is a tournament knockout specialist. So I'm really scared that England might do some damage. And I really hope some of the dark horses like maybe Japan or Algeria or Norway or whoever it is, they can just knock out England initially. Because I think once they reach the semifinals, I think it would be difficult to beat them. I think they are a good team which can beat France as well. And talking about the midfield, if you think that Vitinha, Bruno, and Joao Neves is a good midfield, England has Bellingham, Anderson, and Declan Rice. You might
Declan
not
Rice.
fancy it, but they are amazing
But
midfielders.
Tuchel fancies them. That's the thing. We
Yeah.
might not fancy them. Tuchel at Bayern, he wanted Rice.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think he knows what he has to do to get. The thing is, I think one of the reasons why he even moved to England, he loved his spell at Chelsea. I think the people loved him more, and it's quite rare, especially with Tuchel. Nobody liked him at Mainz. Nobody liked him at Dortmund. Nobody liked him at Bayern. At PSG, also things were rough. So at England, he had the power to choose who he wanted, and he didn't go for favoritisms. I mean, I think up until the squads were announced, they didn't even think Bellingham would be called up.
Yeah.
That's how
And he-
cutthroat the guy is.
and he
Cole
has
Palmer's
left out
not in.
Palmer as well.
Foden's not in.
Yeah.
I mean, you think Southgate would ever do that? Hell no.
And there he has
Hell
kicked
no.
out Maguire as well, who is actually
Exactly.
good for England
He,
in
yeah,
World Cup.
and he had a pretty decent season, if I'm not wrong. I haven't
Yeah.
seen a lot of United games, but then
He
so
has it. He has it.
those guys are. I think. I mean, if you get him to anywhere near the quarters, actually, I think he might actually take it away. And they've been close. The 2021 Euros, they lost the final. Then 2022 World Cup, they lost to France, and that was tight. That was very, very tight. Kane missed the penalty. I mean, I think if he hadn't, maybe who knows. Then again, the last Euros, they lost the final to Spain.
Yeah.
So they are there, they are there. It's like how Germany was 2006 World Cup semifinals, 2008 semifinals, 2010 semifinals, 14 we won the thing.
From your lips to God's ears. I think.
What about you? What about you?
It's interesting. I think England is the only team where them actually leaving out world-class players makes you more confident that they could take away. I think if I'm letting my heart speak, Portugal. I think if you win the midfield, I don't know how you don't dominate the game. There's a chance
true.
that some sly goal is going to end up going in. I'm worried about Ronaldo. I am worried about him being a big ego in that space. But I do think that last Euros win really taught him something. The fact that he went off injured during the first half and then Portugal won the game, I think that must have taught him something. And so I'm hoping going into this tournament, he's going to allow Goncalo Guedes to go up instead. He's going to allow a João Felix, a Rafael Leao to go up instead. And that midfield, Vitinha, we haven't even
Neves.
mentioned, Ruben Neves. We haven't even
No.
mentioned Ruben Neves.
Joao Neves, not Ruben
Joao Neves as well. It's both the
Ruben
Neves
Neves is there
brothers.
as well.
Both
Yeah, I
the
think,
Neves.
but I don't think it's going to be Neves. Ruben Neves was starting. It has to be Joao Neves and Vitinha.
Sure, but if you are bringing Ruben Neves off the bench, if you're bringing that guy full of energy to come and like constrict a defense, an oncoming attack, that's terrifying.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping it's Portugal. Is that?
I mean, I hope so too. I hope so
Yeah.
too. I mean, it would be crazy to get that one over, especially for Jota.
Oh,
Yeah.
the fact that his
Yeah.
best friend is now wearing his number, the fact that they
Yeah.
gave his number to Ruben Neves.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is going to be a tournament that I really hope Diogo Jota is celebrated.
Honestly, I feel like if he was there, they would have been my favorites. He'll be the false nine who's starting
Honestly,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I for a
Yeah.
long time felt that Diogo Jota was better than Cristiano and should have been used more in that. But yeah, this would have been his tournament.
I mean, you mentioned the 2016 right final, but I didn't see a lot of learning from him in the 2022 World Cup.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Jacob, who
That's-
are your dark horses?
My dark horses don't. Don't laugh.
Don't tell me it's Ecuador or
Don't say USA.
Cape Verde, USA.
I think Norway has a good chance of doing something.
Damn.
Yeah, I
Yeah, okay.
think I've got my eyes on Norway. I really like their setup. I really like the things that they're doing moving into this. And not to mention, like, they came through qualifying like a freight train, right? They won all 10 qualifying matches. They scored 37 goals. They only conceded 5 goals. They had a 4-1 demolition of Italy at the San Siro Stadium to steal Italy's spot, which moment of silence for Italy not being here again. I'm
3 years running.
Dr. Shaq, who are your dark horses?
I think it's gonna be Mexico. The dark
Oh, that's
horse.
amazing.
My bold prediction. Because
Nice.
starting from tonight, all will say, okay, fine, yeah, Ivory Coast, Norway or whatever. But I feel it's Mexico because of mainly the home support and the passion they have then for the football, as well as that amazing ground. Have you seen that ground? The pictures.
Yeah.
I think tonight's match is gonna be in the
Azteca, right?
Mexico
Yeah.
versus South Africa. It's at 12:30, I guess.
So
I
I
think
think,
my dark
he's predicting like South Korea in the 2002, the
Yeah.
host nation all the way.
Exactly. And I think they can be kind of big giant killers. They have beaten us in 2018 World Cup as well, Mexico versus Germany. And my another bold prediction, I think it's Ivory Coast, as Vishnu has mentioned before. They have really strong defense, as well as two very good wingers who can hurt any fullback team. I mean, they might not be that great in terms of the name and status, all those, but Diomande on the left and Amad Diallo on the right, it's gonna be a big nightmare for the fullbacks, especially.
True.
And shout out to Japan as well. I mean, Japan is not a dark horse anymore. They have been doing it in all the tournaments, and they beat
Very
Germany as well as Spain in the 2018 World Cup. 2018 22, yeah. 2018. 2022 World Cup. 2022 World Cup. So I fancy them, but that first match is gonna be Netherlands versus Japan. That's gonna be one hell of a match. And it's the same goes for France versus Norway as well. I don't know when these matches are. I wish I could watch them. Hopefully it's at 10:30 or morning 6:30, whatever it is. And Brazil versus Morocco. I think these are the matches to look out for. And Portugal versus Colombia as well.
Germany
So-
versus Ivory Coast.
Yeah, that would be a great match. It will be attack versus defense. Yeah, so I'm going with Mexico, and I hope they don't disappoint us. Let's see. If today is a match. We'll see how they're going to perform.
Incredible. All right, that's it. Predictions are locked, time stamped. They're inescapable.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the future, one of us is looking back at this episode with his head in his hands. We look
Or
forward.
a lot of money in his pockets.
Are you betting?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, no, we're not.
More important, shown to our grandkids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
knew football. We knew
That's-
football.
That's
We
much
used to
better.
watch football.
We knew ball.
Yeah.
Chances are they'll say it's some Claude video and some rubbish. Yeah,
They might be supporting US as well. USA at that time. We never know.
yeah, definitely.
Or Curacao.
Yes, or maybe.
Who knows? I'll see you guys at the 2042 World Cup.
I'll be playing the 2042. I got the call yesterday.
Chico
Which
said-
country? Sri Lanka.
Yeah, Sri Lanka.
No, it's actually Tiruvalla is going to be hosting.
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
MGM ground is going to be the main ground where the finals are going to be held.
God, could you imagine Ronaldo's grandson is playing at Elite Stadium?
Oh,
All
where
right.
are they going to be staying? Club 7 or Elite? Continental?
They can stay in my room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody. We will be back tomorrow with a fantasy episode, and then after the first round of matches, we'll be sleep deprived, emotionally compromised, and almost certainly already wrong about something.
Yeah.
Until then, the bench is always open. This has been the Bench Warmers FC. Enjoy the football. Say goodbye, Vish.
See ya. Goodbye. And let's go for Demondschaft. Yeah.
Enjoy the World Cup. This is the biggest spectacle in football. Forget about everything. Enjoy the World Cup. the Mannschaft. Let's kick out Brazil and Argentina again.
Bye, boys. Bye, everyone. And just for that comment, I hope Germany gets knocked out in the group stage. I have nothing against the team, but it will be a really fun succeeding episodes if Germany get knocked out immediately and we have to discuss it with these guys. So I'm looking
I'm gonna
forward
leave
to
the
it.
channel that time.
So have fun watching the tournament. Get a few cans of energy drinks ready, Red Bull, Monster, whichever floats your
Or
boat.
mix them both.
Drink it. Yeah, mix them both. We are not liable for any medical things, even though Dr. Shag's a doctor. But yeah, stay awake, watch the game, because you have to wait another 4 years for something like this to come again. So have fun watching the games, boys.
Yes. Until then, we will see you. Adi had to drop out. He had guests, so we will catch him at the next episode.
Yeah.
Friends, thank you so much for being here. Hit like, hit subscribe. Know that there is a seat open on the bench right next to you. This has been the Bench Warmers FC. Enjoy the beautiful game. Goodbye.